Hi guys, I thought I would make this video just because I've finished my one-year master's degree. I've got a lot of things on my mind. It was a one-year master's, really intense, and I thought I would share with you 10 tips. I don't know if they're top tips, but 10 tips on how you can survive a one-year master's. Tip 1, go into it knowing that you are 100% sure you want to do it. If you're interested in learning more about your field and conducting your own research project, and just delving into more material, go for it. If you're unsure about what you're gonna do after you're done undergrad, don't launch into it. In November, when everyone is drowning in coursework and marking and assignments and research experiment problems, even the most enthusiastic and passionate students question what they're doing. You don't want to put yourself through it unless you're 100% sure you want to commit. Tip number 2, have a support system. I was incredibly lucky to be part of an amazing master's cohort this year. We were always there for each other, and it was so much easier to get support from people going through the exact same thing and encountering the exact same problems. But friends and family are great too. Just make sure you have someone to talk to when things start to get rough, which they probably will at some point. Tip number 3, don't be too hard on yourself. Sometimes you're gonna have to tell yourself that it's okay to take a break after working for 10 hours, even if it's only 8 p.m. at night and you feel that you can keep going. Don't push yourself too hard. This kind of morphs into my next thing, which is take breaks. If you don't take them, you will burn out way too quickly. Sometime you're gonna have to take an entire day to do nothing academic, and that is okay. Tip number 5, don't be afraid to ask for help. If something goes wrong with your research project, talk to your supervisor. They've probably either encountered a similar problem or have been supervising projects for a while and may think of something that you haven't thought of. This is kind of a sub-tip. Ask earlier rather than later. You don't want to work yourself up and stress yourself out when you've got so many other things on your plate and realize that you didn't have to be worrying about this for so long. Also, if you're having a really tough time mentally, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. Mental illness in grad school is a reality, and your department, your supervisor, or even your university probably have resources for you. Tip number 6, Evernote. This isn't a sponsored video, but I love the program Evernote. It lets me upload all of my PDF papers that I have to read, PowerPoint presentations, conference schedules, conference notes, Word documents, Excel files. It lets me load all of my data into it and makes it searchable, which I love. It also, if you don't have loopy cursive writing like I do, you can take pictures of your notes very quickly and upload them into Evernote, and they are searchable as well. You can have it on your phone, your iPad, your computer. They have a browser interface as well. You can take voice memos, you can organize things by notebook, you can tag a bunch of things across notebooks. It just makes looking for that one line of text that you remember reading a while ago much easier. Oh, if you scanned something from a book and the copy is pretty good, it will also search that text within reason. It's a really powerful tool, and it saved me a ton of time and grief over the past year. Tip number 7, which doesn't need a lot of explanation, but ice cream. Tip number 8. This is a tip a PhD student gave me before I started teaching. It applies to anyone who has to run a tutorial or teach. And she said, if you are teaching a tutorial, always have everything ready the day before a tutorial, because you don't know what last minute thing is going to come up, and you never know when the department printers are going to jam and stop working. This is another tip for teaching assistants. Don't do your marking all in one chunk. You will get to mark great assignments, and you will have to mark poorly written assignments. It is much easier to do when you break it into more palatable chunks. Tip number 10, this is my final tip, but I think it's gonna morph into 11 tips. Conferences are a great place to present your research, meet a lot of people in your field, and get feedback outside of your department. I did several conferences this year, and I do not regret presenting and getting feedback at any of them. Finally, my last tip, which is 11, but I've run out of fingers, know that it's only a year. It's gonna be a very tough year. It's going to be a very intense year. You're probably going to have to neglect friends and family a little bit more than usual, and probably cut back on what you like doing, but knowing that it's only a year and you're going to get through it makes it a lot easier. So those are my tips for surviving a one-year master's, guys. If you have any more, leave them down below. If you'd like me to talk about master's degrees in grad school and organizing it all, also comment down below. I'm open to suggestions. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye.